YouTube, what it doing? Back with another haircut tutorial right here. I'm combing out the hair, getting everything nice and neat. You want everything already in the dang, what I'm looking for. You want everything flowing in the direction it naturally flows. So that's why I combed out the hair, and right here I'm going in with my clipper all the way closed, setting in my first guideline. You want to make sure your guideline is nice and neat. If you got to go over the area multiple times, do that. Next step, you want to open your lever all the way up and set in your second guideline, going up about ½ an inch. And remember, you got to keep the second guideline parallel to the first one. Remember that. Keep them guidelines parallel, man. Then you want to make sure you get you a little brush session in and knock off any hair that is not still, growing out of the head. Any hairs that you already cut, you want to knock them things out with a brush session, man. And then I'm going to use my notches on my JRL. So I just went from open, all the way open, to the next notch going towards close. So I'm working my way down from the second guideline I put in all the way down to the first one to get that guideline completely blended out. And I'm gonna go notch for notch. And remember, you coming down lower each time you close that notch up. And for my people that have regular clippers that don't have the notches, you can still accomplish this same fading technique by closing your lever up little by little, coming down each time to get this first guideline completely blended out. So don't feel deterred, you know what I'm saying? You can still accomplish this same technique by closing your lever up little by little. Pretend you got the notches, man. And what I did on the side, I'm doing the same thing in the back. You know what I'm saying? I'm still fading down using my notches. And keep in mind, it might look like I'm going all the way up to my second guideline, but I'm not. The top blade might look like it's going all the way up there, but the top blade does not cut any hair. The cutting blade, which is the blade underneath the top blade, the blade that is moving, is the blade that's actually cutting hair. So whatever hair that blade touches is the hair that's getting cut. So keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? When you fade and you notice that hair is not being cut, it's because of that cutting blade is not actually touching that hair. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind while you fade. Now I skipped all the way up to my 1.5 guard, and I'm using this guard to debulk. I got the lever in the open position now, going all the way up. I'm following the shape of his head, so I'm going all the way up. I'm not digging into the top, I'm just following his head shape. And as you can see, I just closed the lever up and I'm coming down lower with it. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm debulking the hair. What debulking is getting rid of any hair that is not necessary for this haircut. And the reason behind debulking is because it's easier for the smaller guards to blend hair that's already, shorter. It's harder for guards to go in and fade and give you a neat fade when the hair is still left long. So the reason you want to debulk is for that simple reason. You want your fade to come out cleaner. Make your job easier and debulk, man. Now that we finished debulking the hair, I'm going in with my number 1 guard open, and I'm coming right underneath where I was with that 1.5 guard closed. Another benefit to debulking is knowing what you're fading into. So with this specific haircut, I know that I'm fading into a 1.5 guard closed. So that's another benefit to debulking the hair. Now I'm closing up the lever on my number 1 guard, and like I said earlier, hair blends better when the hair is already shorter, you know what I'm saying? Knowing what you're blending into, That's why having that lever is so, you know what I'm saying, makes fading so easy. You know what I'm saying? You want to start with the lever open and come down lower and close the lever up and blend into that open lever. You know what I'm saying? I hope I didn't confuse nobody. But like I said, when the hair is shorter and you start bringing in smaller guards or closing your lever up, it's much easier to make a fade pop. You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to use that lever, man. Right here, I'm opening the number 1 guard lever all the way back up, and I'm coming down where the fade meets the hair on top. I'm coming down with the grain to get that hair to lay down and to create a better transition. Right here, I'm just creating a better transition and smoothing out where the fade meets the longer hair on top. So that's a little technique, you know what I'm saying, you can use. Open your lever up or grab a bigger guard and come down with the grain. If you have a client like this that has longer hair on the top, you want to, you know what I'm saying, come down with the grain to create a better transition from the fade to the hair length on top. And what I did on the sides, I'm doing the same steps in the back. So y'all pay attention and watch closely. And before we get any further in this tutorial, like I always do, if you know how to cook, subscribe. If you don't know how to cook, subscribe. If you got on clothes right now, subscribe. If you like ice cream, subscribe. Cookies and cream, subscribe. Man, what else? Just hit that subscribe button, man, along with that notification bell, so you'll get notified every time I drop some fire. I ran into a little speed bump right here, but I'm grabbing my 1.5 guard with the lever all the way open, and I'm gonna thin out that dark area right there in the back, and now it's gone, poof. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might have to double back and grab one of the guards you just recently put down, so keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? It's all in the detail. Now I got my 0.5 guard on there. This right here is the 0.5 guard for the JRLs. I like the way it fades, and I'm aiming at any dark areas I still see within my fade. Remember when I told you shorter hair fades better, so with this 0.5 guard, I'm going in and I'm detailing any area in this fade that is dark. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see me close and open up the lever. And when it comes to detailing the fade, sometimes all you need is the corner of your blade, the last 2 or 3 teeth. You know what I'm saying? So use them corners, man. Another quick tip is, if the lever open is not, I got it closed right now, but if the lever open is not cutting the hair, be sure to close your lever up. And when you got it in the closed position and it's not cutting the hair, that means you're not letting that cutting blade touch the hair. Remember, the tip of the guard is not cutting the hair. I know it look like the guard going all the way up into the longer hair on top, but the cutting blade is what's actually cutting the hair. So don't be scared to go in, you know what I'm saying, and fade the hair, man. Detail. Right here, I want y'all to check out that corner work, you know what I'm saying? When using the corner, it's not going to lift your fade up. It's going to just thin out those dark areas. So don't be afraid to use them corners, man. You know what I'm saying? Turn that clip on this side, you know what I'm saying? Just go in with your corner work. Now I'm getting ready to go with the grain with the 0.5 guard on there still. I got the lever open now, but it's not cutting enough hair. So I close the lever all the way up so I can smooth out that fade. And I know y'all don't have a lot of time to sit and watch a, 20-minute tutorial. That's why I only show one side, you know what I'm saying? What I did on his left side, I also did on the right. You know what I'm saying? I know everybody don't have that luxury of time to just sit and watch a full tutorial. So the same steps I did on the right, I did on the left side. On the left side, I did on the right. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But if y'all like the way my tutorials are, drop a comment, let me know. If y'all prefer the full tutorial, drop a comment and let me know. I need that feedback, man. Still detailing my fade. Now I got no guard, lever all the way open. And this is what, you know what I'm saying, sets that price difference between a regular barber and a barber, you know what I'm saying, getting paid $40, $50 more, you know what I'm saying? Getting paid, you know what I'm saying, $100 a haircut. This is what, you know what I'm saying, right now I'm getting 40 a cut and I'm doing 50 with beard, you know what I'm saying? But I'm aiming for that $100, you know what I'm saying? I want to have financial freedom, you know what I'm saying? I want to have more time to myself, more time to my family. So this part of the fade, that detailing, you know what I'm saying, going in, using your corners to, you know what I'm saying, blend out dark areas still within your fade. I could have been done, you know what I'm saying, a regular barber would have, you know what I'm saying, stopped and, you know what I'm saying, went ahead and lined them up. But I'm putting in that extra effort to get that detail in, you know what I'm saying. Most of my haircuts take 45 minutes to an hour. With that being said, you know what I'm saying, I'm giving top-notch cuts, you know what I'm saying, and that's what I'm aiming for. I want to get to that $100 margin, you know what I'm saying. So it's all in the detail. This technique right here is called the rake. I got my lever all the way open and I'm raking down. That's why it's called the rake or the bear claw or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to call it. That's the method I'm using right now, and it's basically like using a number 1 guard closed. And I'm doing this to smooth out the transition from the top of the fade to the longer hair on top, you know what I'm saying? You want everything to flow. And as you can see right here, I started angling the clipper a little more to try to get rid of that dark area, but I'm gonna have to grab my 1 guard again and detail that area. Now I brought the number 1 guard back out and I'm gonna attack that dark area that I was just fighting with. And what I was explaining with the raking technique is basically using the number 1 guard with the grain. Now with the grain and against the grain are totally different lengths the hair will be left on the head. So a number 1 guard with the grain will leave the hair longer than a number 1 guard against the grain. I hope that makes sense and it didn't confuse anyone. Now I got my silver FX trimmers and I'm gonna bald out the bottom portion of the fade. Now I'm corner working with my trimmers, aiming at any dark areas, you know what I'm saying? Get them dark areas up out of there. It's all in the details, man. Get to that $100 a cut, man. I know you want to be there too. Now it's time to get them crispy. First thing you want to do is comb everything in place before you cut your trimmers on. Do not, I repeat, do not push your client's hairline back. You know what I'm saying? Don't push them back, man. Now it's time to throw in some enhancements to give it that extra if you know what I mean, that Now we're gonna throw in another comb session and then bring the trimmers back out to do that double tap. Make sure every hair that's overlapping their hairline is cut. You know what I'm saying? Give them that clean, fresh, crispy line. And there you have it, folks. I know this was a long one, but I want to thank you for making it this far in the tutorial. Y'all stay blessed. MikeWillBlendIt. I'm out.